Results are slow. It's like a slow, nice, lean tissue build. Very, very dry, and overall still 3D bubbly. So that's where the What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is 1907. Check out 1907.com. Coupon code Russo. ASMR Spritz got a new bottle of carbon finally. Intelligent coupon code Russo. Young LA coupon code Russo. Welcome back to PEDucation. Today we have Primobolan, otherwise known as Methenolone Enanthate, and this is one of those exotic compounds that people wanted me to do a video on, so I will give my personal experience as well as what I think of it, how it slots in the underground later. But let's get into the history and the anabolic androgenic rating. So the anabolic rating is 88 and the androgenic rating is 44 to 87, with testosterone being 100. So the history is that Squibb Pharmaceuticals introduced this in the 1960s under the name Nabal. So this compound left the drug market in the United States very quickly, and this was mostly found in European countries. That's where the exoticness comes from. It's just like the inability to acquire it in the United States when it was so popular around the world. So Primobolan was, you know, like any other steroid, muscle wasting diseases, all that type of stuff, hypogonadal. That's why it was developed, and it was so popular because of its extremely low side effect profile as well as low toxicity profile. However, I'm gonna touch on some personal experience, cough hair loss, that, you know, really comes with Primobolan that people don't talk about. So Primobolan, and I'm going over the injectable version. There is also an oral version. I have never personally seen where I could acquire that, or I don't have any experience if the oral is different from the injectable. But as far as the estrogenic side effects go, Primo is not aromatized in the body whatsoever, so you're not worrying about gynecomastia symptoms or any water retention, blood pressure issues related towards the aromatase pathway, which really makes it a awesome compound for a lean bulk or a recomposition. Makes it very versatile. It's not like one of these wet compounds where you're like, oh, I'm only going to use this in the winter for a quick off season. It's very much can slot in for a lean bulk, can slot in for a cut. Works great. As far as androgenic side effects go, not very androgenic whatsoever. However, this is where I get into personal experience. People don't like to talk about it, but the hair loss with Primobolan is real. I think, you know, when it first came on the exotic market, Andrew, like when you go to try and acquire Primo, it's like over $50 more than all the other gear, and the raws are super expensive, which gave it this elusive exotic factor. And people are like, well, why is it so expensive? Because it's not really available unless it's through the underground, and it's an expensive raw. That's pretty much what it comes down to. As far as administration methods, according to the Anabolics 11th edition, they're calling for 200 mg or 100 mg every 2 to 4 weeks for therapeutic athletes, or 200 to 400 per week for 6 to 12 weeks. As far as what bodybuilders take, in my opinion, 400 is the minimum to get a cosmetic enhanced bodybuilding effect. Personally, I see a lot of bodybuilders go up to 800 to 1200 Primo a week, which really gives them the look they're going for. And the other thing that people fuck up with Primo is that it's so damn expensive that they think, oh, I'm gonna get a lot out of 8 weeks, where realistically, from the better physiques that I've talked to that have used Primo, it's more like this is an exotic compound that slots in when you are blasting and cruising, you're completely down the black hole, and you are looking for something that's very low toxicity, low side effect profile, not impacting your blood pressure, but is stacking on tissue month after month. Again, I've seen people run Primo for 6 months on top of their testosterone at 400 to 1200 a week. Results are slow. It's like a slow, nice, lean tissue build. Very, very dry, and overall still 3D bubbly. So that's where all the hype's around it, right? Is people don't run it long enough. People run at 8-10 weeks and they're like, oh, I noticed a little bit, but I didn't notice much. Really got to push for a long cycle with this, which is a ton of money and comes with a ton of hair loss. No one talks about the hair loss. I don't understand it. It's like people want to keep Primo as like the holy grail of the ultimate injectable to put on testosterone. If you're prone to hair loss, it's horrible. It's going to make your hair fall out like nothing else, like Winstrol. Like, if you read through this medical data that I'm referencing, you wouldn't know that. But during the underground, you know, Primo's the best gear ever, and I don't get why more pros don't use a ton of Primo. Why are they using EQ? There's reasons, and you know, the hair loss to me is a deal breaker. You know, it's extreme hair loss from what I've seen. It's not like, oh, you get a little bit of extra shedding on testosterone. It's legit hair loss. It's legit hair loss, and I would not fuck with it. You have to have enough money to do it for a long period of time to get the results out of it, and you also need to stack it. You gotta stack it big if you want to get the results out of it, meaning you gotta load up big syringes and really utilize this compound if you're looking for the results everyone talks about online. Of course, it's going to work great as like a little cosmetic add-on to your TRT, HRT in a low dosage. That's not really going to impact any of your biomarkers that the TRT, HRT hasn't already impacted. It's very good stackable compound, but if you want the results, this needs to be pushed. This is expensive, and overall, I'm going to be honest, I think it's a bit overhyped. There's ways to create this look. Is it overhyped in the sense that if you're already bald and you're looking for something that can be run for years and you know really isn't impacting your overall biomarkers, that's where it holds up to the exclusivity, the exotic factor, and everything else. But I don't know. What are your experiences with Primo below? I've done Primo I think 1 or 2 times. Nice lean dry gains. I did not have enough money to run it long enough. I think I ran it at 400 and then talked to all my friends and they're like 600 minimum. I'm like, okay. And towards the end, I was starting to see what people were saying about it. I did notice thinning all in my hair, and I ran out of the compound before it got good. So that's my results with Primo. I did want to try because I was conned into it essentially because of the exotic factor, and it really just comes down to, you know, it wasn't really made in the US that much, and that the, you know, the raw price has gone up because, again, they keep it exclusive. So tell me your results with Primo down below. I will see you guys in my next video.